As the Earth's temperature continues to rise, one of the major consequences is the melting of glaciers and polar ice caps. This melting causes seawater to expand, leading to a rise in sea levels. But sea levels aren't just rising due to melting ice.
Sea level rise will affect coastal communities, coastal cities, and low-lying islands.
The oceans are also being affected by thermal expansion, which means that as the water warms, it takes up more space and contributes to the rise in sea levels. The combination of these two factors is causing sea levels to rise at an alarming rate, and this rise is already having significant impacts on coastal communities around the world. Today, we will share 12 different cities around the world that could be in severe danger if sea levels continue to rise. One city that is particularly vulnerable to the impacts of sea level rise is Miami, Florida.
Here in Southeast Florida, we are one of the most sea level rise vulnerable places.
Located on the Atlantic coast, Miami is home to over 5.5 million people and is a major hub in its region. However, the city is also at risk of being flooded due to its low elevation and the fact that much of it was built on top of porous limestone, which means that any excess water has nowhere to go.
I heard the gurgling, and I recognized this morning that it's the flooding into the condo.
In 2017, Hurricane Irma caused widespread damage in Miami, and the city is expected to see more frequent and severe storms as the climate continues to change. Jakarta, Indonesia. The capital and largest city of Indonesia, Jakarta is situated on the northwest coast of the island of Java. Unfortunately, much of the city is at risk of being flooded due to rising sea levels. Jakarta is built on land that is less than 6 feet above sea level, and the city is already experiencing regular flooding. The heavy extraction of underground water is also causing the city to sink, which only exacerbates the problem. It is projected that as much as 95% of Jakarta could be underwater by 2050 if sea levels continue to rise.
Takutnya, kapan anak cucu kita, harapannya tipis takut.
Located in the Netherlands, Amsterdam is built on a series of canals and is known for its beautiful waterways and picturesque houses. Amsterdam is also at risk of flooding due to its location on the coast and the fact that the Netherlands is a low-lying country. If sea levels were to rise, Amsterdam would be particularly vulnerable due to the fact that the city is already sinking. The city is built on top of a layer of sand, which is slowly being compacted over time. This process, called subsidence, is causing the city to sink at a rate of about 1 centimeter or 0.4 inches per year. As the city sinks, it becomes increasingly vulnerable to flooding from the sea. To mitigate the risk of flooding, the Netherlands has implemented a number of measures. One of these measures is the Delta Works, which is a series of dams, levees, and storm surge barriers that are designed to protect the country from flooding. The Delta Works has been successful in reducing the risk of flooding in the Netherlands, but it is not foolproof. If sea levels continue to rise, it may not be enough to protect the country from flooding. Alexandria, Egypt. Located on the Mediterranean coast, Alexandria is the second largest city in Egypt. Alexandria is also facing the threat of flooding due to rising sea levels. Alexandria is built on a strip of land that is just 15 feet above sea level, and the city is experiencing more frequent and severe storms. This combination puts much of the city at risk of being flooded in the coming decades.
Alexandria has experienced a seasonal rainstorm since last week.
As the largest city in China, Shanghai is home to a population of over 24 million people and is an important center for trade and commerce. However, its proximity to the coast makes it vulnerable to the impacts of rising sea levels, which could lead to flooding and damage to infrastructure, property, and the city's economy. In addition to rising sea levels, Shanghai is also at risk of being flooded due to the heavy rain and typhoons that the region experiences.
Shanghai at 2 degrees. Now take a look at this. If it reaches 4 degrees, look at the loss of land.
The city is located in a tropical and subtropical climate zone